It has been another impressive season for the A's Chris Davis. The 29-year-old slugger has once again hit over 40 home runs, making him the first athletic player since Hall of Famer Jimmy Fox to do so. Over his first 2 seasons in Oakland, Chris has hit 84 big flies and knocked in 210 runs. He is becoming one of the elite sluggers in the game, and the Athletics are happy to have him in the green and gold. Davis and the A's take on the Rangers. It is game 161, and it's coming up next. It is Saturday night in Arlington, Globe Life Park, home of the Texas Rangers. It is game 3 of this 4-game series. The A's and the Rangers coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball, along with Ray Fosse. I'm Glenn Kuiper. 2 more games left in this season. 2 more games for Chris Davis to add to his home run total. Maybe he can do that. He's got 42 home runs, 108 RBIs, and he really, Ray, has become one of the best sluggers in all of baseball.
You know, Kuiper, I've never seen a home run hitter that does not try to pull every pitch. Chris Davis is just the opposite. He very rarely pulls the ball to the left field. You're going to see 4 home runs all to right field and right center. It's just amazing what he's trying to do. Really, just swing the bat and swing hard. He makes contact. Good thing about him, too, he wants to reduce his strikeouts. He wants to walk more. That's going to make him a better hitter. But his power, he can go line to line, any ballpark, and hit home runs. That was a fastball from Paxton, down and in. He hit it out to right center for a home run. Just amazing power for a right-handed hitter.
Rangers have a young slugger of their own, Joey Gallo. He's only 23 years old, and he's not a finished product yet, right, Ray, but, man, he has awesome power.
It's called when he makes contact, look out, because you're going to see some shots there where he did make contact, and whenever he does, it's very long. Upper deck there, he goes straight away center field, just completely out of sight here at the ballpark. Just amazing power. We have not seen that and hope to not see it for 2 more games, but Gallo needs 1 more to get to 40. Chris Davis already has 42. But this young man, Gallo, if he learns how to make solid contact, who knows how many home runs he's going to be able to hit.
All right, pitching matchup tonight, Daniel Gossett for the A's, Andrew Cashner for the Texas Rangers. Each team has won a game so far in this series. Game 3 is coming up. We'll have lineups and first pitch from Arlington. It's the A's and the Rangers.
Brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the new $4.99 Smoky Jack Burger Combo with small fries and a small drink. Limited time only.
All right, we're just about set for baseball. Game 3 of this 4-game series from Globe Life Park here in Arlington, Texas. Another beautiful night. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. It is 80 degrees, so it's been nice, comfortable weather. And it should be that way tomorrow as well for the season finale, a day game here in Arlington. So 80 degrees and just a nice light breeze. So the Texas Rangers getting ready to take the field. They have not done it just yet, as they will wait for their starting pitcher, Andrew Cashner. It'll be Cashner and Daniel Gossett tonight.
You know, while we have a moment, I want to congratulate Kendall Graveman. Since he made his last start, he is now working in the visiting clubhouse.
Is he?
Yeah, he's working with Kelly Terrell. He's got the uniform on that all the guys wear during the pregame, and he had a little confrontation with the skipper about his jersey. Skipper missing his jersey, and I guess Kendall asked him if he had prepared it at the end of the game last night, like most guys. And Kelly said, "You can't say that to the manager." So Kendall Graveman has a new job.
All right.
And
I like it.
So I don't know what kind of tips he's going to get tomorrow at the end of the series and the end of the season, but we'll see what happens.
So the umpires are ready. The A's are ready. The Rangers are not quite ready.
And it's all about the pitcher, Andrew Cashner. It's usually the pitcher, when he's ready, then everybody follows. And I guess he decided to take a little bit more time tonight.
So we will tell you what the A's starting lineup looks like. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and here it is. It starts with Marcus Semien, then Matt Joyce, Jed Lowry, Chris Davis, Ryan Healy, Matt Chapman, Bruce Maxwell, Mark Canha, and Jake Smolinski. That is your Oakland A's starting lineup.
And Andrew Cashner, who is on the mound finally. He is making the start. Second start this year against the Athletics. Had a no decision back in May. That was here in Arlington. A game in which the Athletics ended up losing on a walk-off by Joey Gallo. But the young man is a pretty good pitcher. He's been around for a while. And he knows how to pitch. It's the question whether he's going to remain in the rotation of the Rangers following this season. Tonight, making his 28th start, looking for win number 11 to even his season record. A's would like to try to prevent that going for tomorrow, trying to win the series if they can win tonight.
Defensively for the Rangers, Willie Calhoun is in left, Delino DeShields is in center, and Jared Hoying is in right. Drew Robinson, Elvis Andrus on the left side, Rougned Odor, Joey Gallo on the right side, with Brett Nicholas doing the catching. So there's your Texas Rangers defense. A's won on Thursday night by a final score of 4-1, and it was the Rangers who bounced back last night and won the game 5-3. Bob Melvin and the A's looking for their 75th win of the year. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to climb out of last place. They needed to sweep the Rangers, but playing well in the month of September. They've won 9 out of 12 and are 16-11 in the month of September. So that is the good news, and they have played well against the Rangers this year. They're 10-7 against Texas. So I do believe, Ray, and I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe that Andrew Cashner is ready. Although he's
out there second base,
27 feet away from the pitching rubber at the moment.
Maybe he really thinks this is going to be his last ever start for the Rangers.
Well,
because he's milking it.
He's definitely milking it. Is he retiring after this start?
He doesn't want to get on the mound. He's out at second base, got halfway, stopped. Now, here we go. First pitch, 10:05.
Here it is. Misses inside to Marcus Semien. Semien, Joyce, and Lowry here in the first, just underway. And that one is ripped to left field. Calhoun is right there. And that's out number 1. So a very hard hit ball by Marcus Semien, but nothing to show for it. Umpires tonight, that's Tony Randazzo calling balls and strike. Mike Esterbrooks at first. Jerry Davis, that's Jerry Davis. He's the crew chief at second. Rob Drake is over at third.
I always think, Kite, with an umpire, of course, tomorrow is the season finale. Postseason starts on Tuesday, but unless an umpire is going to be umpiring postseason, for Jerry Davis, he's finished behind the plate.
Done, yeah.
You know, so he's just kind of go to first base tomorrow for the season finale, and don't know what the umpiring lineup is for the postseason. There are a lot of games, so who knows? Maybe most of them are umpiring in some capacity.
0-1 to Matt Joyce, drops low. And we will get into this as our game goes on, but Ray, there will be no drama tomorrow.
Yeah.
Everything has been decided for the postseason. So we'll get to that, as I said, as the game goes on. But no surprises. The teams that look like they were going to get in are in. We know times, we know places, we know opponents. So that has all been decided as of, well, just about 45 minutes ago when the Brewers lost. And that sends the Rockies to the postseason.
And that's amazing. They had a 6-0 lead.
The Brewers did. Yeah.
Yes.
So 3-2 to Matt Joyce.
Home run number 3 for Matt Joyce, and he's right now sitting on 24th. So what a season. This was number 3 against Cashner on May the 12th. So just do the timing, because, oh, you saw Trevor Pruitt in there too. So he was there to welcome him in.
Elvis Andrus throws in the dirt, and Gallo smothers it. And that was kind of an odd play. Andrus handled the in-between hop, and he had time to throw it, but he kind of just lobbed it over there, and Gallo had a tough play.
Well, it's good hustle by Matt Joyce, but I agree with you. Straighten up and throw hard, give him a chest-high throw, and he's fortunate that Gallo could handle the low throw, keep it in his glove as he went to the ground. Otherwise, it's an error on Elvis Andrus, an unnecessary one.
So 2 outs, and here's Lowry. Lowry goes after the first pitch and hits it foul down the left field line. Lowry with the double last night to set the Oakland A's record for doubles in a season, number 48. Hit it over the center fielder to Shields' head.
It's good 12-6 curveball. Oh, that's tremendous to hit that many doubles. Now he wants 50. He's not satisfied with the Oakland record. He wants to get to 50. Well, the franchise that I read was 53.
53, I believe.
Jed Lowry last night. This is number 48 over the center fielder's head. Hit it from the right side, which that in itself is special because he's been predominantly a left-handed hitter most of the season with the right-handers. And said to Elvis Andrus, that's a record. So give me the ball. That's the A's franchise. Al Simmons has 53 for the A's franchise. Jed Lowry has the Oakland record. That Lajoie with 48. Wally Moses.
Did you know Al Simmons is a cheesehead?
Is he really?
Thought I'd throw that in there for you.
Glad you did, because I didn't know that.
He's a cheesehead. Huh?
Well, I learn something every night with you, Mac.
Real important stuff, too. Lowry pops out, 3 up, 3 down inning for Andrew Cashner. Bottom of the first coming up. To bat here in the bottom of the first. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. DeShields, Calhoun, Andrus, Mazzara, Gallo, Robinson, Nicholas, Odor, Hoying. So again, a whole bunch of left-handed hitters in the Rangers lineup.
Bunch of them last night, and tonight they're facing right-hander Daniel Gossett, and for Gossett making his first ever appearance against the Texas Rangers. 18th start on the season. First was down to Miami against the Marlins, his major league debut. And getting ready to start number 18 for the Athletics. Good fastball, curveball. Curveball needs to keep down. This being a home run hitting club, considering what he did in his last start against the Mariners. Keep the ball down, make good pitches. Ooh.
So 0-1 to DeShields. And that one's hit shallow left center. And Smolinski makes the catch. So 1 away. Defensively, the A's have Canna, Smolinski, and Joyce in the outfield. Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, and Healy on the infield, with Bruce Maxwell doing the catching. So here's Willie Calhoun. We're getting our first look at Calhoun. He's 4 for 7 in this series.
He's swinging the bat very well. Maybe he was so pleased when he hit his first major league home run that he had his future Hall of Famer go to bat for him and literally give up a bat so he could retrieve his home run ball. Adrian Beltre helped him out, so maybe that's inspired him to play well, and he has.
So we're going to keep an eye on him. He's from Vallejo, went to Arizona. And you know the Rangers are keeping a very close eye on him. Who knows? If he can hit, they'll find a spot for him, that's for sure. Nice play, Healy. Spins, throws, Gossett there, 2 away.
That's pretty good. That's like a touch fast football pass. Huh?
Nice
I mean, check this out. This is a touch throw, man. He gets it there, and a lob. Oh, man, he'd be a good quarterback. Kind of lead him perfectly, threw right to the bag. Nice play by Ryan Healy, and just a little right over the top, flip, and there's Daniel Gossett. See, that's the key right there. The pitcher gets to the bag, so Ryan Healy can make that little toss right to the bag. That's tremendous. I mean, he's a great quarterback.
Here's Andrus. First pitch is low. Elvis Andrus 1 for 7 in the series. That one hit a double last night. And he lines this one toward Chapman. Chapman reaches to his left, makes the catch. Both starting pitchers have 3 up, 3 down first innings. with Chris Davis to lead it off. Davis, Healy, and Chapman here in the second inning. Cashner, a 13-pitch first inning, a line out, a ground out, and then a pop out. Cashner signed a 1-year, $10 million contract to come to the Rangers. And he's pitched pretty well. Pretty good ERA. So he will be a free agent at the end of this year, Ray, and somebody's going to pay him.
Well, and maybe the Rangers try to get him back too. Maybe, yeah. But you know, because the Rangers need pitching. I mean, most clubs need pitching.
Everybody needs at least one pitcher. When I say in the offseason, sure. Some teams maybe more. He has a 41-64 career record, which is not very good. He has good stuff. He just needs to stay healthy. Last year, 132 innings. This year, 160. So we'll see what happens. He's 31 years old. Swing and a miss. Good fastball, 96 miles an hour. You may be right, Ray. Rangers may want him to stay right here, yeah. But it will cost them.
If he goes for $10 million 1 year, then he's probably like Beltre did when he was with the Red Sox. It's high fastball. And talked before about throwing 96 up in his zone. You can get away with it. 90 up in his zone, it's probably a home run. He's got pretty good velocity upstairs.
Pitchcast is brought to you by PenFed Credit Union. There's the pitch usage for Cashner. Likes the fastball, and he's got a pretty good one. Cashner was originally a first-round draft pick of the Cubs. And he was traded to the San Diego Padres in a big trade. Big name involved. Odor has it pop off his glove. His throw to first, not in time. And alertly, Nicholas. Now he throws back to first, and Healy's able to get back. That's a pretty nice play by Nicholas.
Well, that's what a catcher's supposed to do. Plus, the rail is there to prevent the ball from going to the dugout. But Healy turned just ever so slightly, just like DeShields did last night. And this time, though, he didn't just walk back. Healy knew what he had done, and he hustled back. But he had actually turned right there.
Oh, yeah.
He turned, and Nicholas had Gallo been there. Nicholas kind of double pumped a little bit because Gallo wasn't on the bag. Nice recovery by Odor, but not enough time. But backing up, which a catcher's supposed to do in this situation. Nobody on base. Nicholas was there with the screen. Nice splits. But see, Gallo was so concerned about doing the splits, he forgot to turn around to catch a ball from Nicholas. And otherwise, Healy might have been out. Not often you see a runner go past the bag and dive back to the bag, but Healy had to do that.
It was an error on Odor, his 19th of the year, so he has not had a good year defensively. Error number 105 for the Rangers. They have the 4th most errors in the American League. Nice play there by Robinson, but he throws it into right field. Healy gets up. He's going to hustle for third. Cashner gets over there to cover, but too late. So that's going to be an error. And now the A's have a chance to take advantage of not one but 2 mistakes by the Rangers.
That's amazing. Well, you saw the lack of run support by Cashner. Now you, on top of that, put some errors. But that's just a, you know, if you know the speed of Matt Chapman, you're not going to turn 2, so why not stop and make a nice throw? He tried to throw on the run, and as a result, over the head of Odor. But Chapman was not going to be doubled up on this ball anyway. Sometimes it's better to just try to get one instead of getting a miracle play. And it turns out now to be first and third, no one out for the Athletics, and a chance to get on the board even without a hit.
First pitch to Maxwell, a fastball, first strike. .241 for Maxwell, 3 homers, 22 RBIs. That fastball there got in a little bit on Maxwell. So 0-2. So Castro does a pretty good job at getting a double play, just like Martin Perez, his teammate who pitched last night.
Game against the A's back in May, he had 9 fly ball outs and just 5 ground ball outs. I'll make it 6. Looking for a ground ball here, and Maxwell looking for one of those fly balls deep enough to score a run.
On deck is Mark Canha. Fastball inside. So Cashner said the big name he was traded for, Anthony Rizzo.
That's right.
How about that? Rizzo was originally a Padre.
Yep.
So Rizzo goes to the Cubs for Cashner. It was in 2012. Did he hold up? Yes. Yeah, that's a pretty good trade for the Chicago Cubs. Rizzo,
well, that turned out. You're right.
Perennial MVP candidate.
Change up that Maxwell got away with one. Always look at the top of the bad head. If it kind of loops like that, sometimes it will be called a strike. Rob Drake, fortunately, did not call it. Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
Castro puts his hands on his knees. He can't believe it.
Wow. Where what? That pitch was right down the middle. Oh, his belt ties high. That's a strike.
Yeah.
That's a strike.
So Cashner goes for a little walk.
Doesn't get the check swing. Doesn't get the call. Now he's got 3-2.
It's a big call.
Yeah. Another changeup on 3-2.
Runner goes, and the pitch is low. He walked him. Now the A's have the bases loaded.
He started 0-2, good at bat by Bruce Maxwell, although he might have gotten a couple of breaks. Took advantage of them, and now the A's with the bases loaded.
Well, this is too, when you're a pitcher and you're probably a little frustrated, but you got to keep your composure. Not always easy to do, but you got the bases loaded and 1 out. So here's Canha.
Well, trying to get out of the inning without having a ball leave the infield. Bases loaded and 1 out. The only ball left the infield is one Robinson threw into right field.
Blocked nicely by Nicholas. Yeah, that's not a good inning for the pitcher.
No. He's got help from his catcher here. This block, nice block by Nicholas, the catcher, who already has gotten his work out in this game.
If you have not allowed a ball to leave the infield, except for a throwing error by your infielder, and the bases are loaded, that's not good.
And you throw a couple of pitches that you're wondering why weren't they called strikes.
Canha rolls it foul.
So you can see the good sinking fastball there. That's why it gets the ground ball double plays. And you kind of think about a left-handed pitcher, good sinker, good changeup, induce a lot of ground balls like Martin Perez does. But Cashner with a good hard sinker, like the A's Blake Trinan, who's a 9th inning pitcher.
Lowest in the American League, a 176 average against with runners in scoring position. Good pitch there. That's a strike. So that certainly a big reason why his ERA is 3.4, which too bad. Right on the inside corner.
You act like that, you may get another one in there. Eventually get one in there, so better be prepared because it is a strike.
One-two pitch down and away. Healy at third, Chapman at second, Maxwell at first. 2 errors and a walk.
Here comes your fastball in, Kite.
Be ready.
Yep. I think he's of course, the pitchers throw the sinker. They'll throw it in, try to get a ground ball. But Castro has the 4-seam and the 2-seamer. It's the second sign. It will be inside. Just watch the catcher. It's not going to be there. Slugger. Fastball away.
Close pitch, 97 miles an hour, and now it's a full count.
Well, they went fastball 2-2. You'd have to think he'd do the same on 3-2. As a hitter, you have to be patient, because if he does throw you a slider that's out of the strike zone, fastball in.
That one is bounced foul.
See, for the catcher, Nicholas moved in, but he moved late, so that's a little bit harder to pass along a sign to the hitter that it's going to be a pitch inside. We've seen some catchers that as soon as they give the sign, they move in way before the pitcher even gets in a set position.
So another 3-2.
Fastball in.
And foul back. That was a good swing by Canna. Fouls it into the upper deck.
Like Nicholas is calling the fastball in, figured he's going to get some movement and maybe get the ground ball.
.36 pitches. 23 coming here in the second inning for Cashner, and there's still only one out. To Odor. Out at second, on to first, and they got him. 4-6-3 double play, so Cashner gets what he needs, and the A's do not score.
Out of market regular season game live, plus you get a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Take a look at that nice new park that's going to be no longer a new park. It's going to have a newer park. Those fans also, those A's fans looking for their new ballpark in Oakland.
So here's Nomar Mazara leading things off against Daniel Gossett, who had 3 up, 3 down inning in the first. Lowry cannot get it on the backhand, and that's a leadoff single for Nomar Mazara. So, Ray, been hearing about Daniel Gossett making a little windup change tonight. What do you see?
Well, look at just at the setup. See how he's more straight up. He doesn't have the abbreviated. This is a full windup to the right that he's using tonight, which, you know, that abbreviated windup that a lot of guys are using, he did that to take away some movement. He's gone back to his normal windup. And, I mean, it was so obvious just looking at those two. And he talked about just trying to minimize. We see David Price, Drew Pomeranz, Sonny Gray. There's so many pitchers now that are doing it. And he tried it, and it's not working. And I think a lot of times you don't get as much behind it. If you're out of the windup, take the full windup, take what you're allowed to take. Because if you have that minimal windup, it's almost like you're pitching out of the stretch all the time. And in the case of Daniel, he does not have the mid to upper 90s fastball that he can utilize. He'd rather have that sinking right there. Change up away from the left-hander.
So 1-1 the count to Joey Gallo. Gossett needs a strong final start here. He has really struggled in his last 2 starts. And Gallo hits one high and deep to center field. Smolinski is going to watch that one go.
Finally got it.
Number 40 for Joey Gallo. So he got to his milestone.
And the sad part about that, the A's had a chance with the bases loaded, 1 out. And at the bottom of the inning, come back with a hard hit base hit, and then there's a changeup again. And there's the difference. The first one was down and away. This one was up at 83. And that's all power by Joey Gallo. And it's almost like one of the ones we showed in our open. He knew he got it. And for Daniel Gossett, he gave up 4 home runs to the Mariners in his last start in 4 1/3. 2 in the previous start, 4 2/3 against the Tigers at Detroit, and 1 against the Red Sox. So in the last 3 starts, 1, 2, 4, and 1 tonight.
Overall, 21 home runs allowed in 90 2/3 innings. That's a very, very high number.
And that pitch at the location alone, forget about the fact that it was a changeup. But it was a pitch that, and that's his best ball at 94 in the upper part of the strike zone, out of the strike zone.
So Gallo gets to 40. Two and one now to Drew Robinson. Well, this is the last 6 starts. See the last 2 that we talked about, and he's not been good. Hard hit percentage obviously up, and it's just not been going well for Daniel Gossett. He's now allowed 15 earned runs in his last 10 innings. Three and 2. Drew Robinson 2 for 7 in the series, getting quite a bit of playing time with Adrian Beltre finished for the rest of the year. That one's hit high in the air to center, but in the ballpark. Smolinski circles underneath it, and it's out number 1.
Joey Gallo, number 40, but there's your changeup that's up, and same swing as we have seen in the previous 2 games. And I'm sure the same swing that he's used to 39 previous home runs. This one did it himself. That was, let's see how big that 40 home run monument. I mean, considering this is the game 161 and he's sitting on 39. And even in the previews of this game tonight, we're talking about Daniel Gossett, that the Rangers have to get him, or if they don't get him in the first few, they have a chance later, just because his ERA does increase after first time through the batting order, a couple times anyway.
Line toward Canna, and Canna with a good jump makes the catch. So Brett Nicholas is retired. So 2 away here in the bottom of the 2nd. And here's Odor hitting in the A spot tonight. Odor, 30 homers, 74 RBIs. Was not in the lineup Thursday. Last night, he was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. So Odor Has struck out 161 times this year in 160 games. This one is ripped toward the right field corner. Odor hits the bag at first. He's digging for second, and he's going to have a 2-out double. So Odor gets his 21st double of the year.
Well, the late kick gets the foot down and get an off-speed pitch. That you have to have timing when you lift your leg the way Odor does. Joyce gets to the ball, starts to throw, couldn't get out of his glove, but Odor was going to have a 2-out double anyway.
So that'll bring up Jared Hoying getting a start in right field tonight. Shin-Soo Choo is not in the lineup. Have you seen if Napoli is injured?
Yes, he has.
I was going to say, because he's not playing at all.
He's out for the season. It's kind of a stress, some sort of a something of the stress nature, not head.
He's not worried about anything.
Well, he's hitting under 200,
yeah,
and he's going to remain there, but he's out for the season.
Tap slowly up the first base line, just foul. So 0-2 to Jared Hoying. He's got a homer and 6 RBIs. Playing in his 35th game.
Stress reaction to lower right leg. One game since 9/11. So that's kind of like a stress fracture or a reaction.
To pitch just a little bit outside. Joey Gallo with his 40th home run here in the second inning for the Rangers. Kerr stays outside. Pretty nice crowd tonight for a Saturday night, with obviously the Rangers well out of contention. Football tomorrow in the area, so that'll be the big talk. Fair just slapped it right past Matt Chapman. Odor hits the bag at third. He will trot home, and Jared Hoying has an RBI double, so the Rangers lead 3-0.
Well, it's kind of like a wannabe Joey Gallo has a similar stance, open stance, and then closes up this fastball away, and he just slapped it. A little surprising that maybe they did not go inside, considering the way he does close up late. But for him, you pitch outside and just slaps it as Chapman off the line, no chance to get to it. So back-to-back 2-out doubles.
So Hoying gets his 7th RBI. And now the top of the order, Delano DeShields will hit. So 4 hits in the inning, a homer, 2 doubles, and a single off Daniel Gossett. And Maxwell cannot block it, and that's going to allow Hoying to go to third.
It's one of those pitches that, as the old saying goes, it's a fastball. You don't expect it to be spiked. That one was, and as a result, the backhand instead of the block trying to block the ball, although way out in front. But again, as a catcher, you think, well, he's going to throw a fastball. He's going to throw it at least above the ground, but you don't anticipate. But it's almost point now you have to anticipate every pitch being thrown in the dirt. See, that's a breaking ball, so he went down nicely.
So I guess that, Ray, that thought process for a catcher, coupled with the fact that a fastball is just more velocity than a curveball, so you really have less time to even get down.
And if you're not prepared, and when you see a backhand like that, you're not prepared.
So you can, maybe it's hard to fault the catcher for not being able to always block a spiked fastball.
But in the proper form, you will. But you know, it's if you turn the glove properly. But you know what? You really almost have to anticipate. If you call a fastball, you have to anticipate. You know your pitcher, and anticipate that. Yeah, curveball, slider has a chance to be in the dirt, but you also have to anticipate that all pitches, and especially now with the runner at third. But you see a lot of catchers do it, especially with the fastball. It's almost like, I'm accustomed to catching this way, and it's panic. I just throw my glove in whatever direction it goes, hope their body can block the ball.
2-2 to Delino to Shields. Just got a piece of it. To Shields with a fly ball to center field in the first. He does not have a hit in this series. He's 0 for 9. Line drive, left field, base hit. So a breaking ball to Shields, lines it to left for an RBI single, and that makes it 4-0 as Hoying scores.
It's got to be frustrating. You throw a curveball that you think is a pretty good pitch, low part of the strike zone. See that? Watch Maxwell, the catcher, went down to block it, and the pitch stayed up a little bit too much. And I think there are times too, Pat, that a pitcher will, with the run at third base, not try to throw the breaking ball as hard as it should for fear of bouncing the ball and having a run score. And they have a tendency to lift the ball up a little bit. That one was left up enough for DeShields to drive the ball to left field.
Simone Castro gets up. First pitch to Calhoun. That one is picked on the backhand by Maxwell. So 5 hits in the inning for the Rangers. Calhoun grounded out to first in the first.
Gossett threw 9 pitches in the first inning. He's got 4 times that amount right now.
Missed outside. Now it's 2-0. So Calhoun in the driver's seat here. Got a struggling pitcher in a 2-0 count. This inning, 28 pitches for Gossett. He threw just 9 in the first inning. That's high, 3-0.
This may be his last batter. I mean, just all of a sudden, after the single, the home run, he gets 2 outs, and then double single. And now 3-0.
Runner goes, and the pitch is a ball, so it doesn't matter.
Wow.
It was ball 4. So that is going to do it for Daniel Gossett. He cannot get out of the second inning. Gossett goes an inning and 2/3 and gives up 4 runs. So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
is brought to you by Max Muscle Sports Nutrition and its 30 NorCal locations. Professional health and nutrition advice available for all ages.
Look, Ray, there's old, beat up, and practically falling apart Globe Life Park. I mean, this place is it's really in shambles.
Yes, it is. Time to get a new one.
It is just horrible. Terrible. We're joking. It's a beautiful ballpark. Simone Castro comes in.
And you know, all those construction people to put those individual bricks around this stadium on the outside, I mean, this is a beautiful place. And
it is a very nice park.
And I would have to think, though, they're going to have to do something with this. They just can't say, let's get rid of it and, you know, use it for parking. Not a great way to finish your 2017 season. Daniel Gossett, a little frustrated and understandable. 39 pitches in second inning. Bob Melvin really just trying to stop the bleeding.
So 2 on, 2 out for Elvis Andrus as Castro comes in. Castro pitched last night, but he only threw 4 pitches. So he could probably go a couple innings if he's pitching well. So 0-1 to Elvis Andrus, who lined out to Chapman in the first inning. Chapman charges this one. He'll throw across the diamond. Side retired. 4 runs on 5 hits for the Rangers. So we're headed to the 3rd. Rangers 4, A's nothing. Best Unlimited Network. Watch out for the Nationals. Steven Strasburg's pitching great. Mike Trout, yep, he's good. She had a couple of home runs last night. So Trout, a young superstar. Ichiro, he's now 43 years old, and he says, you know what, I can keep playing. He probably can.
As long as he wants.
Yeah. He's got 27 pinch hits this year, and I want to say he's closing in on the pinch hit record.
Yep.
His pinch hit record in a season is 28. He's got 27. Backhanded by Robinson, but then he cannot hold on to it. So Smolinski's aboard. We'll see what the ruling is there. Rangers have already made a couple of errors.
Base hit.
And it is a base hit.
Say saved a double. Anytime you go backhand, it's not your normal play. Got him in the heel of the glove. So Dick Smolinski will take it. Saw a note came through. Max Scherzer had to leave the game in the 4th inning. So for the Nationals, who are loaded.
They are loaded.
You don't need somebody like that to go down. course, so they start Gio, Strasburg, Warark. They got a few guys they can start.
Yeah, make sure Scherzer's ready to go, but Strasburg's been great. You know, Gio's really had a very good year.
Yeah.
In fact, I think of all the for sure divisional matchups, and Simeon has a base hit, so back-to-back hits. But I think the Cubs and the Nationals in the division series, that's probably the most interesting division series matchup.
Good swing by Marcus Simeon going down to get a ball, and no chance for the Shields as the ball was in left center. Smolinski playing it safe by stopping at second. Is that the first round? Nationals and Cubs?
Friday. Wow. Yeah, because the Rockies are in.
They'll play the Dodgers since the Dodgers have the best record, so they get the wild card.
Well, the Rockies and the Diamondbacks play in the wild card game on Wednesday, and then whoever wins that plays the Dodgers. That's the National League side. Boy, Cubs at Nationals on Friday, 5-game series.
Somebody's going to be disappointed.
Somebody's going to be really
disappointed.
That's a very good call, because the Nationals have had some major postseason disappointments the last handful of seasson. And the Cubs are feeling good.
Well, I still say the Cubs were quite fortunate last year to win Game 4 the way they did in San Francisco. Because I don't think they would have won Game 5 in Chicago because Baumgartner would have been pitching.
It always seems like a team that wins the World Series, and obviously you win the World Series, you're going to be a very, very good team. But there's always a couple games where maybe you think, wow, I don't want to say lucky, but where you just pulled one off. I'm sure it happened with you guys, right? In 72, 73, 74, there was probably a couple games where you're like, wow, that was huge.
Game 4 at my first, the league championship, Game 4 against the Orioles, we had a 2 games to 1 lead with a 3-1 lead late. All of a sudden, game over, lose it. Oh.
So now you're thinking they got all the momentum in the world.
Go to Game 5, and it's right there. Unfortunately, won the game, but you talk about just trying to get to the World Series. But now you've got that 5-game division series, and all it takes to get cold at the wrong time in a short postseason, you can have the best record ever in a season, and it means nothing unless you win the whole thing, or at least a factor late in the postseason.
So Twins at the Yankees Tuesday, American League wild card. Rockies at the Diamondbacks Wednesday, National League wild card.
You know, Cap, that's why the Red Sox are trying so hard to win today. They had Sale lined up for tomorrow. Now they can scratch him and have him ready for the first game of the division series. And Pomeranz today scored early. Looks like it's going to snow in Boston.
That was a
September 30th.
Like chilly day there.
Let's see if Jet has a green light 3-0, and if he can hit one of the seats.
He takes, and it's a strike on the outside corner. 3-1 the count.
So I think pitchers now get pretty smart 3-0, and they're not just grooving a fastball and like a batting practice fastball. Guys getting the green light more and more. I think if you're hitting a lot of home runs, why not give a guy a green light?
Grounded to Odor. He's got it. Fires to second for 1, on to first, double play. So the second 4-6-3 double play turned by the Rangers, and the A's do not score. NBCSportsCalifornia.com. Sunday to Sunday, the home of the authentic Raiders fan is NBC Sports California. Big one tomorrow for the Silver and Black. They are at Denver, both teams with 2-1 records. Across the street at AT Stadium, the home of the Dallas Cowboys, the Los Angeles Rams will be over there. In fact, the Rams are staying in our hotel.
Did you see any today?
I did, yeah. I broke it down a little bit, went through the playbook.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you talk to you? You got all planned for them all?
I don't want to give away who I talked to. I don't want to get Jerry Jones mad at me for giving away some of the inside stuff, Ray.
Jerry probably don't like you, though, Ken.
Would or wouldn't?
I think Jerry would like you.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think you and Jerry can be tight.
I'm scared to ask why. But you know what? Thanks, Ray. I think Jerry would like you.
Yeah, no, listen. Jerry just seems to be that down-to-earth kind of guy that probably say, Kipe, what do you think? What do you think we should do today? You know, he runs the show, doesn't he?
He runs the NFL is what he does.
So if you talk to him and maybe gave him some pointers, he'd probably say thank you and maybe put you as part ownership or something.
So you just said down to earth and Jerry Jones in the same sentence, huh? Interesting. Mazzara strikes out, so Castro picks up his first strikeout.
Good hard slider for Castro. He's got a good one. And you're right, last night came in, got a big strikeout, and tonight comes in, stops the bleeding in the second inning. And trying to give Bob Melvin some innings, but give his club a chance to come back and score some runs if they can avoid the double play.
Here's Gallo. Gallo with a home run in the second to center field. Landed on the grassy knoll. So he now has 40 behind Aaron Judge and Chris Davis. Swing and a miss.
A high changeup from Daniel Gossett and Joey Gallo. If there's ever somebody that finishes his swing strongly, it's Gallo. And I think he'll go to surprise Arizona. Not being a surprise anymore.
No.
Because I think he's going to fit right in someplace with this club. And, you know, he couldn't be playing at a more perfect time. And there's almost 40,000 strikeouts. So strikeouts and home runs are up, and he fits perfect because he's right in that category.
Well, and you know, we joke about it, but as we said in the open of our show, Ray, when we talked about Gallo, he is a pull hitter, but he's so strong.
Yeah, that's right.
He can hit a fly ball to left field, but he's not a finished product. I still think you got to hit more than 206.
Absolutely, I agree.
And I think he can. I mean, he's a very talented young man. But I just think if you hit 40 home runs and you hit 250, that's pretty darn good. But 40 home runs and a 205 batting average, I just think you're making a lot of outs.
Absolutely.
And that takes away from all the home runs you're hitting, I think.
How about, I was shocked to look at the stat sheet last night and to see that Joey Gallo does not have a sac fly.
He's got another home run.
Yes, he does.
This one may leave the building. I got to be honest with you, Ray. I do not know where that landed. It was well into the upper deck.
I guess you hit them like that, you don't need sac flies. Wow. Can anybody follow it? It's a hanging slider and change up and slider. I think I'd go heater, guys, because he's proven he can hit a change up and a hanging slider.
Well, we're still trying to figure out where it landed.
But his eyes were up.
Were they up high enough?
See, no big deal about 41, but 40, he's giving hugs to everybody.
Look at that. In his career, 117 hits, 48 of them home runs. It is, I mean, it's special power. See if we can see where it goes.
Let's see if we can see some fans catch it.
About halfway up the second deck, right by that walkway. So you're right there. That walkway is where it landed. And that young lady is the person who caught it. So you see where she is sitting. That's a long ways. That upper deck, it's not like Tiger Stadium. It doesn't hang way over the lower deck. It's about even with that the home run fence down below. Tiger Stadium used to hang over quite a ways. So Robinson gets the walk.
Yeah, you could be camped under ball at the warning track and the ball comes straight down and ends up in a home run.
So Robinson's aboard. Here's Brett Nicholas. But listen, getting back to Gallo, Ray, and he's hit 2 home runs tonight. 1,000 feet of home runs. But I think the point we're trying to make is for him to not have any sacrifice flies this year.
Yeah,
that's hard to do because he's hitting for the most part in RBI spots.
Right. Well,
and maybe that's where he could become a little bit better of a hitter from a contact standpoint.
Coming into tonight's game, Joey Gallo was hitting 206, Rougned Odor 202. One had 39, one had 30, one had 77 runs batted in, one had 74. So you combine a few extra hits and just home runs instead of home runs, which, like you said, correlates to a higher batting average. You're going to they're both be at 100 RBI.
Yeah, that's what you're right. If the batting average went up, the home runs may go down, but I think the RBIs would probably go up.
Right. And just maybe by mistakes, you might still hit the home runs. At least Gallo is. I mean, Odor seems like he swings every time he wants to hit a home run, and you'd have to think that in the case of Gallo, he may be thinking the same thing.
Yeah, we're by no means criticizing these two guys because they're very talented. We're just kind of saying this is where they could probably become even better, which is scary.
But in the era of strikeouts and home runs, they fit right in. Because both strike out a lot, both hit a lot of home runs.
And I think in comparison with Chris Davis, who hits a lot of home runs, he strikes out a lot, but I think Chris Davis is becoming a better hitter.
And he wants to be, exactly. You're right.
I mean, obviously his batting average is higher than the 2 Rangers we're talking about, but I think we've seen Chris Davis evolve a little bit from last year to this year.
Well, Chris Davis has about 35 more ribbies than the 2 of them.
And I think that's a big part of it. I mean, I'm curious to see how many sacrifice flies. Yeah, Chris Davis has 7 sacrifice flies.
It's the visiting clubhouse man in uniform of the A's sitting next to Chris Davis. It's Kendall Graveman.
Is he going to do it again tomorrow? He's going to have to get here pretty early.
He's got nothing to do, you know. Bob Melvin's just concerned. He says it's an extra guy I have to tip. Because, you know, well, Bob Melvin's good about tipping the clubhouse guys. And he looks at his #1 starter. Am I going to have to tip him also?
Sure.
But, you know, these guys make their final start. And they got nothing to do. And Kendall Graveman said, these guys work hard. So, you know, they
have a little fun.
Yeah. And plus, Kelly Jarrell had one guy missing because of an injury or surgery. And so Kendall said, hey, I'll pick up for him. And actually, Kelly Jarrell said that Kendall was teaching some of his kids who work for him, teaching them how to do the job. So that was instrumental on his part as well. So maybe he's got a future, which he's not going to need.
And Nicholas strikes out for the second out here in the 3rd. And here's Odor.
Well, it's a running fastball. It was up a little bit out of the strike zone, but it just kept running away from the left-hander. And see, that kind of pitch, if you're thinking about pulling, you're going to miss it a lot. If you think about opposite field, the pitch away, just like what Hoeing did, took an outside fastball and shot it to left field.
Odor doubled and scored in the 2nd inning. A little bit down and away. There's a shot. Fair. No foul.
Sounded fair. It was hit hard.
That was
wow.
Smashed.
But Odor may end up being like Josh Donaldson, Jose Bautista, a couple of guys that come to mind with the load up and then lift the leg. And if Odor can be as disciplined as, say, Josh Donaldson, who knows the strike zone, JD is lock and loaded, and he lifts the leg and he's ready to go, but he's disciplined enough to know that if it's not a strike, he's not going to be swinging at it.
Runner goes. Maxwell's throw is in time. Tag put on by Marcus Semien. Side retired. Joey Gallo with another home run. It landed somewhere in the upper deck. So the Rangers lead 5-0 after 3.
NBCSportsCalifornia.com, brought to you by Max Muscle. Log on each week as Insider Joe Stiglitz talks baseball with players, coaches, special guests, and more. Available on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Spotify. Latest guest is this man right here, KD, Chris Davis. Previous guest was my partner, Kuiper.
Yep.
Got him on archived, ready to go.
Okay.
Listen to him all winter.
Yeah, I'm going to listen to that, the one he got with you, too. Oh, sorry. Can't believe that. Chris Davis makes the turn, and he's going to try. Calhoun's throw is a little bit high, and Calhoun juggled it out there. Chris Davis decided to take second base. We'll see what the ruling is.
Well, it probably should be a single and an error, but we'll see. That's a fastball elevated a little bit as Calhoun, see where he's playing, goes to the ball, cuts it off nicely, and then bobbles it. And the key is Chris Davis, as he was running to first base, he was getting ready to shut it down right about there, and then picked it up. So we'll see what they decide. If they want to preserve the error on the outfield, or they give him a double.
Nope. Single. E7.
It's 3 errors, and they still haven't scored. Oh.
First pitch to Healy. In for a strike. Hey, Ray, remember how we talked about Andrew Roman?
Yeah. From
the Tigers, and initially he was going to play all 9 positions tomorrow. He's doing it tonight.
Good.
And we're on top of it.
And how's he doing?
This one is belted toward right center, but Hoying's over there. Hoying's got it. Davis will tag, and the throw is cut off. So Healy with a productive out, getting Davis to third with 1 out.
So why is he doing it tonight?
You know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Maybe it's like Alcantara starting. It would have surprised him and surprised the fans.
Right now, the Tigers are winning 3-1 in the top of the 7th inning. And he's doing good. Started in left field. He's gone left field, center field, right field, third base, shortstop, second base. They're going to the bottom of the 7th inning in Minnesota. So he'll, it looks like,
go to first.
Probably go to first.
And I hope pitch.
He's got to pitch, right?
They're
when are you going to pitch him?
They're in Minnesota.
Safe situation.
Well, if he pitches the 8th, he gets a hold. And then he catches the 9th. He's got to catch the 9th. But you got to hope that if he pitches the 8th, he doesn't give up 4 runs.
That's the thing. I mean,
and he doesn't get to catch the 9th.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see which next position he goes to.
Odor and Gallo and Chris Davis comes down the line a little ways, but he was not going anywhere. So Gallo and Odor got together. Gallo, much taller, he reached up and caught it.
And he just threw a bullet. He threw a throw home about as hard as he hits the ball in the seats. Well, just no chance for the ball to drop in. Gallo ends up catching it. And
so now the A's need a 2-out hit from Bruce Maxwell. First pitch is up and away. So as the bottom of the 7th starts in Minnesota, he's catching.
That's smart, because otherwise he might give him up. It might not be able to go to the bottom of the 9th.
See, but the problem is there's a starting pitcher for the Tigers that has a win on the line.
Yeah.
Buck Farmer went 5 innings, and he's the pitcher of record.
He's probably buying into the whole thing, though. You think?
Probably,
yeah.
But still, you know, it's a tough. Gallo has it, and the A's do not score, so they had a runner at second and Obi out, but they could not get Chris Davis home. Bottom of the 4th coming up, 5-0 Texas.
Here sooner than you know it, and your chance to get close to the stars, and tomorrow is here. Visit athletics.com/spring for your first look at tickets for the spring, including matchups with the Cubs, the Giants, the Dodgers, and others. Visit athletics.com/spring right now. Matter of fact, the A's last year first exhibition game this past spring was against the defending world champion Chicago Cubs at Mesa. They had the World Championship trophy on hand, something they had not seen in 108 years. They had it on display in Mesa.
Those good A's fans, see, they'll probably be there.
They'll be there.
Beautiful Oakland Stadium. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and repair expert. So Chris Smith comes in. Castro goes an inning and a third, a hit and a run. He gave up the Gallo home run. He had a couple of strikeouts. So the first pitch to Odor is low. Odor, Hoying, and DeShields here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Odor was at bat when Robinson got thrown out trying to steal. That one's hit up the middle, and that's going to get through for a base hit. So even though the shift was on, Simeon was playing over toward second base. He still could not quite get that one. So Odor has a single and a double.
Well, I got a pitch left upstairs, and Odor, even though it was outside, not thrown extremely hard. And maybe they expected the ball to be pulled a little bit more to right field. Instead, it was towards the middle. So is you following Romine? Is it because he could?
He's still catching.
He could pitch to one batter in the ninth inning.
Sure.
And then the closer could come in.
Yeah, it's still the bottom of the seventh, and he is catching.
The bottom of the seventh.
Yep.
So
he's behind the dish.
Wow. So he went from second to catch?
He went from second to catch, yeah.
Okay.
So he still has not played first base or pitcher. Busy night.
I want to see the box score tomorrow.
Well, and in all honesty, I mean, it's a cool thing, and I'm sure all the people that are playing in the game are into it, but you have to switch him in and out every you got to have other people switching positions with him, so it's not easy.
And the PA announcer now catching, now playing first, and it's the same guy. What is all this? But that's what happens.
So Hoying strikes out. So one away here in the fourth inning.
See, the first at bat, look at this location. The first at bat, it was down and away. He got tied up inside. So you see a hitter with an open stance and then they close this. It's all about timing for him. And you pitch him away when he closes up, you're really kind of feeding into what he wants to do anyway, and that's take a pitch away from him, especially with two strikes. This time, Chris Smith goes inside 0-2 and strikes him out.
First pitch to DeShields is right on the outside corner. Well, something else we're watching tonight, Ray, is Giancarlo Stanton.
That's right.
He's sitting on 59 home runs.
Is he leading off tonight?
I know they were talking about that. No, he's not. He's batting second.
Okay.
Now the Marlins are at home against the Braves. They're winning 8-1 in the seventh inning. Stanton has not homered. So you wonder if they may bat him lead off tomorrow.
Yeah.
Missed somewhere. So 60 home runs in a season has been done 8 times by 5 different players. Stanton trying to join that group. That should be a strike.
That's strike 3, exactly. That's exactly right. I don't know what Tony Randazzo didn't like about it. He's looking right down the border of the inside corner.
Blocked by Maxwell.
Stuck in the scout. Evidently the Marlins are still firing people. Got a bunch of front office people and people who had been brought in, I guess, in baseball operations.
Well, I've seen 2 different thoughts on that. One is, okay, it's new people. They want their own people, which is perfectly fine. But there's also the thought of, well, but do you know if you're letting go really good, smart people?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a thought process was they're going to bring in a lot of Yankee people since Derek Jeter was in the Yankee organization, and would they bring in some people there? And, you know, maybe there's some clause that they can't change, but you know, who knows? But it's just I agree with you. Why wait? Just do it Monday. Season's over Monday.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
that's usually when a lot of things happen.
Odor runs, throw to second base, not in time. So Odor with a stolen base. He had a pretty good jump that time. So he's got 15 steals on the year.
Big lead, bigger jump, and Bruce Maxwell not much of a chance. Good job of Marcus Simeon backing up Jed Lowry as he had to go for the low throw.
So RBI opportunity for DeShields here in the fourth. And he lines one toward left. Canna's there. Canna makes the catch. A very hard hit ball, but into the glove of the A's left fielder. 2 outs.
Did you ever figure out how that happens? I mean, that ball was just scorched. It goes right to the outfield. I've always wondered, how do you do that? I mean, how do you throw a pitch? Guy hits it very hard, and you look up and it's going right to the outfield. You know, 10 feet one way or the other. Goes.
Yeah, do you feel good?
Yeah, it's an out. You know, pitchers say, well, it's a hard out. And now they have the exit velocity, so they add to that. Not only is it an out, but it's got exit velocity.
That was good exit velocity.
Said Stanton hit one the other night was 119 miles per hour. Exit velocity.
One 1-0 to Calhoun, who has grounded out and walked. Willie Calhoun this year in AAA hit .300 with 31 homers and 93 RBIs with 27 doubles. Sam Moll, the lefty, starts to get up. So more evidence that Calhoun looks like he can hit. Now a good rip. So 2-1 the count. That one runs off the plate, so now Calhoun in the driver's seat with a 3-1 count. Towards center. He was out in front a little bit. He's got it. Side retired, so a runner stranded, and we're moving to the 5th inning from Arlington. Rangers 5, A's 0.
Ships for the 2018 season are on sale as part of the A's new innovative program focused on increased benefits, flexibility, and discounts. The program rewards tenure and includes exciting discounts on concessions, a lot of food, eliminates ticket exchange limitations, and provides exclusive new experiences and events for members. Renew or purchase new season ticket memberships now at athletics.com/2018. See, the longer I read that, the more the food was there.
I like how you stretched that out.
Yeah, I thought maybe that.
So hot dogs.
Is that what they were?
Wrapped in bacon.
Oh, that's on the sizzling part. Huh? That looked pretty, or at least sounded like it was good. You got a chance to watch it.
Probably not for everybody, but for me, yep. Cashner's been good. His defense has not helped him out much. Rangers have made 3 errors, and each time Cashner has pitched through it.
Well, a great note at the beginning of the game about the number of double plays that he's induced, and he's done it tonight twice. At a time when he's gotten in some trouble. 2 errors in a second. Double play got him out of the inning. Sean Manaea, the winning pitcher on Thursday night.
Oh, there's a little boy down to the left who's crushed.
He missed it?
He missed it. Andrus has it. Throws in time, and Canna's retired. Well, one away here in the 5th inning. Here's Smolinski. A's have 3 hits. But they've hit into a couple double plays, and that has cost them. Fastball is inside to Smolinski. He has one of the hits. Cashner's pitch count is now at 65. He's trying to even up his record at 11-11. Off the mound to grab this one. Underhands to first. 2 outs. Retired 7 out of the last 8.
Can't wait for you to give us an update on Mr. Romine.
Romine? But they're going to the top of the 8th.
He caught the
so
7th.
We'll see what he does in the bottom of the 8th, where he's at.
So he's the 5th player to do it, correct?
Yes.
Cappy was first.
Cesar Tovar did it. I had it written up. Scott Sheldon did it.
Right. Sheldon. And there was another that was with the Tigers that had already done it before.
Yeah. What's his name?
Yeah. This will be the 2nd Tiger to do it.
Right side, Gallo and Odor. It'll be Gallo, and he's got it. And that's a good inning for Andrew Cashner. Bottom of the 5th coming up. It's the Rangers 5 and the A's nothing. Rangers lead. Our good A's fans. We love our fans. They were looking up at the scoreboard, and it was this like awesome celebration for Adrian Beltre's 3,000th hit. Very nicely done by the Rangers. And our A's fans they're looking up there going, whatever. Better at the Coliseum.
The problem is saying, how many world championships do they have?
That's them looking.
There they are.
Everybody else in the stadium is going, what a nice moment. They're like, nah. Coliseum rocks. Well, we love those guys.
That's Will the Thrill. Where's he sitting tonight? He was behind the dugout last night.
No, they're right field today.
Oh, right field. So they were looking at left field. See?
Yeah. Unimpressed. Love it. One and two the count to Elvis Andrus. Mazara and Gallo to follow here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Rangers with 4 in the 2nd and 1 in the 3rd. Driven towards center. Smolinski's right there. Elvis Andrus 0 for 3. So Andrew Romine in the bottom of the 7th inning, Ray, he was catching. And Twins got a run. He had a pass ball.
So he proved it's not that easy, huh?
So they moved him from catcher back to second base. So he took care of the catcher part of playing all 9 positions. He still has to play first base and pitch. And it's the Tigers 3, the Twins 2. He's on the Tigers, so they figure out what to do with Andrew Romine. Probably kind of a fun game to watch, though.
Well, it sounds a little bit like Will Ferrell in 15 because Will, let's see, he had to pitch and he at least showed up. I mean, I give him a lot of credit because he had injured his hamstring playing tennis, yet went through it to raise money for charity.
And he was doing it at different ballparks.
Yeah, I mean, he was flying helicopter, all the spring training sites in Arizona. Ended up over in.
He started with the A's, right?
Yeah, I think he ended up in Goodyear, maybe.
Yeah, somebody had a night game and he finished it there.
And maybe in Peoria, one of those two, because I can't remember, is the Padres or the Dodgers. But still, give him a lot of credit.
Fastball up and in, and it's swung on and missed. So 2-2 to Mazara, who has singled and scored and struck out.
So Chris Smith is not your overpowering pitcher, yet his location, just like he struck out Hoying last inning, and good fastball up and in to Mazara. Really not overpowering, but location pretty good.
Yeah, good pitch there. Healy has it. So 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th.
Time now for the Jeep drives the game. This one's a long one. You think that's long? This is center field. Wait till you see the next one. Boom bop. This is upper deck, right field, someplace. About halfway up. So 40 and 41 in tonight's game for Joey Gallo.
So he now has 80 RBIs. Adrian Beltre had a 3-home run game, last Ranger to do it. That was in 2012.
Hey, Gallo, this is his 3rd pitcher and his 3rd at bat. Hit one off of Gossett, one off of Castro.
And now 2-0. Well, you could say, well, he's going to be swinging for it here. But
he swings for it all the time.
Sort of does that all the time. A changeup on 2-0, and Gallo lays off.
I think he's got the green light. Yeah.
So 3-0. And it's just a little bit outside. Is the third walk. So that gets Bob Melvin up out of the dugout, and he's going to make a pitching change. So an inning and 2/3 for Chris Smith. Sam Moll's coming in, the lefty to face the left-handed hitting Drew Robinson. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
Building Oakland the ballpark it deserves. The beginning of a robust community dialogue begins with you, and we encourage you to go to oaklandballpark.com to join in our journey.
Looking forward to it. So the Rangers leading 5-0 with 2 outs and a runner aboard. So Sam Moll comes in to face Drew Robinson.
Now Bob Melvin using the bullpen, just trying to mix and match and try to keep the deficit where it is until his offense at least tries to come back. Right now, not doing much of anything.
First pitch to Robinson is a bit outside. Well, Bob Melvin is giving Sam Moll opportunities to show one thing: get left-handed hitters out.
That's right.
Moll did not do it last night.
Yeah, he had a bunch of them to face too, didn't he?
High and foul.
Well, really, Jeff Bannister last night and tonight has set his lineup up for left-handed pitching to come in and not just be a one-batter appearance. He's got Robinson, Nicholas, Odor, Hoying, 4 in a row, hitting the bottom part of the batting order.
Slider down and away, so 2-1. Look who's pitching for Detroit. Andrew Romine. This is great. Wait till I tell you what happened. That's great.
And they're in Minnesota, right?
In Minnesota. So Romine comes in, right, to start the bottom of the 8th. It's a 3-2 game. Tigers are beating the Twins, and he has to face Miguel Sano.
Oh, wow. Trying to come back.
And Sano grounded out. So he got 1 out, and they moved him to first base. And that one is hit into right field for a base hit. Gallo hustling for third, and he's going to make it. And the ball trickles to the center of the infield, but Chapman grabs it. So Robinson with a hit.
Well, 3-1 count. Unfortunately, this is what happens. You fall behind. You have to throw a strike, and with the runner being held, not only did he jump over the pitch, Gallo went all the way to third anyway. And the ball trickling off the glove of Semien. Unfortunately, Chapman reacted quickly enough to get to it.
So now first and third, 2 outs.
Well, maybe Brad Allsmith needs to be rehired so he can. I mean, he's doing a lot of managing tonight.
Yes, he is.
He's reportedly not coming back next year.
So he's actually, Ray, he's done it. Because he went from the pitcher's mound and now he's playing first base. So he's done it.
He's done everything. Doesn't have to play the 9th inning.
Inside to Brett Nicholas. So the count 1-0. Nicholas has lined to left and struck out. Gallo and Robinson are aboard. Hit hard but foul. Mole is the 4th pitcher in the ballgame for the A's. Gossett, Castro, Smith before him. And a jam shot foul down the third base line. So 1-2. Mole's got to finish him off here. 2 outs. Checked his swing on a slider, and oh, they said he went. Wow. Rob Drake thinks it's Sunday, but it's only Saturday. Rangers do not score.
Telecast is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So Matt Joyce to lead it off here in the 6th inning. He's trying to get something going. They trail 5-0. Joyce has grounded out and hit a fly ball to center field. And the first pitch a little bit inside. These have stranded 4 through the first 5 innings. Cashner, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Cashner, he's a fairly hard thrower, but I would not say he's not a big strikeout guy. Coming into this start, 84 strikeouts in 160 innings. Pitch count is okay. The second inning got him a little bit when he threw 24. And that's a base hit to left field. So Matt Joyce has a leadoff single here in the 6th inning.
Well, he actually gets jammed. The ball, kind of an inside-out swing. See the shift to the right side. They're expecting him to pull the ball. He hit it right over the shortstop. So they had him played perfectly, except to get the ball in the air.
So here's Lowry. Well, last night a 3-run homer got the A's back into the game. That one by Renato Nunez. May need another one of those tonight.
Well, something that the A's have not had happen to them in their winning streak, which was at 7 games, and that is to let the opposition get ahead early and try to come back. Last night they came back, had the bases loaded in the latter part of the game, but Nunez struck out on a 2-2 slider.
One and 2 the count. A's are 5th in the American League in home runs with 231. Yankees lead it with 239. Yankees hit one today, so they now have 240. Astros 2nd. Rangers a couple tonight. They're 3rd. The Orioles are 4th, and then the A's 5th. Looking at who led the major leagues in home runs last year, it was the Baltimore Orioles. They get 253.
Only difference this year, it seems like there's a lot of clubs that hit a lot.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But not to surpass, because 240 for the Yankees, they won't hit 13 tomorrow.
In the dirt, and now it's 3-2. This was the home run by Nunez, his first big league home run, and made it a 5-3 game. He said it was a dream come true.
Absolutely. It is. In the backyard, so that was it Beretta and Castro told him they had a home run for it, and guys down the truck, supposedly said he's going to hit one. And he did.
3-2 pitches, ripped foul.
What did they say in the 8th when they had the bases loaded? He came out. I said he's going to get a 2-2 slider and strike out, which he did. So if he hadn't hit the first home run, they probably would have challenged him. But since he hit the home run, figured he's going to be the real hero, they decided to throw a slider out of the strike zone.
Lowry fouls it. Just down to our left, a couple sections. Chris Davis will be next. After Davis, Healy. And he walked him. So now the A's got a little action with 2 on and nobody out. Second walk for Andrew Cashner.
Bases loaded in the second, 1 out, double play. That was after a couple of the errors. The 3 that the Rangers have tonight. There's a difference tonight right there. 0 for 6 for the Athletics, 2 for 6 with the Rangers. Runners in scoring position.
So 0 for 6 tonight, 3 for 17 in the series for the A's with runners in scoring position. So Cashner, he's going to want Davis to chase one of those sinkers. Chris Davis, a strikeout and a base hit. And a good rip at a high fastball. So Ricardo Rodriguez starts to throw. Strike right on the outside corner.
I think the example of Chris Davis and his power we showed in Oakland. About the 4 home runs that he hit, not one was pulled. This one, the perfect one that, had he swung at that, it might have gone out to right field because his swing kind of opens up and drags the bat through a little bit, but so powerful that he goes to the opposite field so well.
It's funny, usually when you say somebody drags their bat through the strike zone, it sounds like a bad thing. It's not with Chris Davis.
Not for him, no.
It's drilled to right. Hoying going back. It's over his head. Bangs up against the wall. Joyce rounds third. He's going to score. Lowry to third. Davis to second with an RBI double. And the A's are on the board. It's 5-1.
And that's dragging it back to the batting line. I mean, that's a 2-2 pitch, and he hit the ball almost out of the catcher's mitt. A line drive that Hoying had no chance to get to it right field. I mean, look at this. I mean, Hoying's ready to catch the ball, and it's taken out right there. And that's how quickly the ball left his bat, and that quickly over the head of the right fielder, bouncing off the wall. And Joyce, who was at second, got about halfway, and he had to hurry. Normally, you don't see that with the ball hit to right field like that on what turned out to be a double.
So Davis gets RBI number 109. Look at his hits. 37 hits to right field.
It's not bad. Look at it, 83 center and right. Just like his home runs of the 42, most center to right. A lot of guys say, well, I want to learn how to hit the opposite field, but they don't have the power to go to the opposite field the way Chris Davis does.
First pitch to Healy. A little bit inside.
And the A's have to do something. This is had the bases loaded the first inning, or second inning. A couple of hitters up, did not get a runner in. Same with the fourth inning. Now here we are in the sixth, second and third, and really have to capitalize on these opportunities.
Missed again. Close pitch. 2-0. Very high, shallow right field. Hoying coming in. Lowry tagging. Lowry is not going to try to score. So Hoying showing off a pretty good arm, hits the cutoff man. And that's the first out.
And that was a 2-0 pitch. He just got it up a little bit and got under it a little bit too much.
Matt Chapman steps up. Chapman has reached on an error and he has popped out to first. 3 for 9 in the series with a homer, a double, couple of RBIs. First pitch, swing and a miss. Ball running down and in to Matt Chapman.
See, even for Ryan Healy, just a productive out. The A's could possibly score 2 in this inning with 2 outs, really. Because you figure with a lead, the Rangers would play the infield back.
This one chopped slowly towards short, but did it go off Chapman? And now Tony Randazzo finally raises his hands and says it's a foul ball.
His toe straight down. And Nicholas said, hey, if you're not going to call it, throw him out at first.
Nothing was called. So Chapman behind in the count, 0-2. He can put it in play, especially to the left side. A's will get a run. Both Robinson and Andrus really playing their normal spot. So is Odor. Gallo is in a couple steps.
I would think if the runner at third, Lowry, goes on contact on a ground ball, you just have to hope it's not back to the pitcher. You go in contact. Even the first base where Gallo is playing about halfway should be able to make it. As the Rangers now looking for outs.
This one right to the backstop. So this is a 25 pitch inning for Cashner. He is now at 93 pitches. Went inside, 97 miles an hour.
Well, that's the pitch that Matt Chapman has been very susceptible to swinging at pitches out of the strike zone, especially if the movement is going down.
Andrus has it. Andrus looks at home, throws to first. So Lowry comes in to score to make it a 5-2 game, give Chapman his 39th RBI. And now there are 2 outs.
Really, now the A's, when they need a big 2-out base hit. Making a 2-run game. Chapman made contact. Get the runner in, but now this is when it could get a huge run, especially with a couple of outs, because the runner's in score position.
Maxwell had a good cut at a fastball. Maxwell a walk and a ground out. Fastball in. Right at the knees on the inside corner. Maxwell this year with runners in scoring position, a .229 batting average.
Perfect pitch, according to Tony Randazzo, the home plate umpire. 96 down around the knees on the inside corner. They're going back the same zone with something.
got him swinging. Elevated a fastball at 97 miles an hour. So the A's get a pair of runs in the top of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th coming up. 5-2 Texas. Back at some of the great moments from the season. September 15th, Daniel Migden, a 2-hit shutout in Philadelphia. He struck out 7, got 13 ground ball outs, and it was a heck of a performance through 118 pitches that night. It was the A's first shutout since August 19th of last year. So Daniel Migden, who certainly finished the season strong, is finishing the season strong, and he's going to get one more shot tomorrow, as it'll be Migden and Cole Hamels in the season finale. 11 a.m. is when our coverage starts with A's pregame live. So final game of the year tomorrow. All the games in Major League Baseball start at the same time tomorrow. And that's an idea that MLB put in 3-4 years ago, maybe
after the 11th season, I think it was, because that was the big collapse of a couple of teams. But they walk off of Eva Longoria down in Tampa after the Red Sox lost. I think that was kind of the beginning, or at least, if not 12-13 for sure.
So a good idea, but it doesn't really matter tomorrow because everything is decided as Ryan Dull starts to throw. Everything is locked in for the postseason here in 2017. Cleveland Indians finished with home field advantage in the American League. Actually, I guess the only thing that is still out there, Ray, now that I think about it, is overall home field advantage, right? The Dodgers leading the Indians by 1 game coming in today. Indians are winning. Dodgers and Rockies are tied 3-3 in the 6th. Dodgers have the tiebreaker.
Did the Rockies celebrate before the game started?
You know, I saw a little video where they were in the clubhouse watching, and it was a loss by the Brewers.
Well, that had to be really deflating for them to have a 6-0 lead over the Cardinals.
And not only that, Ray, they had a 6-4 lead going to the bottom of the 8th.
Well, I saw
the Cardinals scored.
They scored again. Yeah. Wow. And I guess the Cardinals had to feel pretty good about themselves because they were eliminated by the Cubs with a great play by Leonys Martin. At least that would have tied the game. The home run would have.
So a good year for the Brewers. They surprised a lot of people. They got a pretty young, talented team. 85-76 is their record now, but they come up just a little bit short.
And well, that's where you look back over the course of a season. Of course, a team that's eliminated early, you don't think about it, but if you're a team that goes down to the wire In the case the Brewers eliminated today on game 161, and you start thinking back of this season, or this game,
Sure.
or, you know.
No question.
It had a game should have won, didn't win, and I think even from the Astros standpoint, I still think they had to be thinking about the 4-game sweep by the A's in a doubleheader on Saturday. Not to mention just the 4 games, but with a doubleheader.
So on Tuesday, it'll be the Twins at the Yankees in the wild card game. And then on Thursday, the winner of that game will be at Cleveland. And Boston will be at Houston. So that's how it shakes down in the American League. Wild card winner at the Indians, Red Sox at the Astros. Division series on Thursday. That's best of 5. We call it the scary series.
That's right.
National League wild card on Wednesday, Colorado at Arizona. The winner is at the Dodgers on Friday. The Cubs at the Nationals on Friday. So the National League West with 3 teams going to the postseason.
The one thing that I think about now, the Yankees and Twins. Of course, it was the Yankees trying to win the division. They lost today. Or they won, but the Red Sox won, so they won the division.
Lowry cannot quite get it. And Jared Hoying has a base hit.
So you look at the Yankees playing a meaningful game on Saturday. They play another one Tuesday, and if they win Thursday. So they're going to stay sharp. And CC Sabathia won today.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Good to see him pitching well.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Dull coming in. TV.
How about some ribs?
Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1.
Wow.
That looks good.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, Dom.
Sorry, Dog. Better bring those up here then. If you can want to cut that in half, you can't sell it. You better bring it up here.
That only works at home for you, Ray. So here's Dull with Hoying at first, and top of the order, Delano to Shields. So Dull, 49th appearance. So Ray, you mentioned CC Sabathia. Good call. He won today. His 237th career win, and he passed Whitey Ford.
How about that? Yeah. So Whitey was the winningest left-hander for the Yankees, but he also had the most wins, I think, because I think they said if Andy Pettitte had not gone to Houston for 3 years, he might have passed.
Yeah.
But he went those 3 years, and of course the wins that he got there did not count in Yankee Stadium.
Toward Yankees.
Right. But that's good for CC because chairman of the board, Whitey Ford, passed him.
A little bit outside.
How about Aaron Judge this year blowing past Joe DiMaggio's rookie record for home runs? He had 30.
Well, he hit one today.
Judge did again?
52.
Wow. But he broke DiMaggio's record in the first half of the season.
He did that like in April.
Right. So he had 52nd today. Wow. You know, you're kind of hoping for him to have a great postseason because he's had a fantastic regular season.
Yeah.
Such a nice young man also from Northern California.
So 2-0 to Delino DeShields. Runner goes, pitches a ball, throw to second base, got him.
Right on the money. That's where it had to be. And Bruce Maxwell.
So Jared Hoying looking up at Jerry Davis.
He got a great jump, but head down all the way for a straight steal. But Bruce Maxwell very quick behind the plate. And there's the throw, the tag, and I thought his hand was on the bag. They're going to take a look at it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because Hoying thought his hand had gotten on before Jed Lowry tagged him. It's a question whether the angle will show a more definitive shot. Like the hand might have gotten in and Jed tagged him. Watch the left hand of the tag by Jed Lowry. Gets him on the left forearm.
So the tag is right now.
Well, yeah, I tagged him after that. But you know, Kay, there's the reason to straddle the bag right there. That's a perfect reason. If he straddled the bag, the throw is caught and just apply the tag. And there's no hesitation about or any question about whether the hand got in first or not. What do you think, Jerry? Remember Ted Barrett, Coliseum, crew chief? I got Jerry. I got him out. What do you think back there? Whatever you say, Jerry. Yeah, see, there's a throw. And see, oh, it looked like he tagged him on the forearm, but unfortunately got him on the side. Yeah. And see, if Jed had straddled the bag, then he could have just caught the ball and applied the tag. But when you take the throw in front of the bag like he did, which is good, but by the time you go back, you didn't have the base runner know that. He goes to the outside part of the bag.
Well, everybody here looks up at the big scoreboard, and he certainly looks safe.
Yeah.
But you and I should know better, right?
I agree.
Because we've seen some calls this year coming from the replay center where, quite frankly, they've been a bit puzzling.
You scratch your head, so how could they do that?
Well, he was called out, remember? And he's safe. So the call is reversed, and Hoying gets his third stolen base. And the count is 3-0 to Delino DeShields. And the pitch is low. So 2 on and 1 out for Willie Calhoun. So 4 walks by A's pitchers tonight. We'll finish our discussion on CC Sabathia, Ray. So he finishes the season 14-5 with a 3.69 ERA. Good team, very good offense, right? He's a free agent.
That's right.
Where did he grow up?
Vallejo.
Okay.
And what are the A's looking for?
Starting pitcher, maybe a veteran.
And then he wouldn't.
Billy and David are like, shut up. Let us do our job.
Well, and the thing is, too, if he pitched in Oakland, he wouldn't have to worry about pitching on TV or for a visiting team. He could pitch for the A's. He's never done that. It's been the Tribe.
But he's had a good year.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not a 200-inning guy anymore, probably. But that's a base hit to right field. Hoying's got good speed. He rounds the bag at third. He's going to score. Trying for third. DeShields, and he is out.
Just had a bad time on the base pass, hadn't he, DeShields?
So Willie Calhoun with an RBI single to make it 6-2. The A's cut down DeShields at third.
Well, there's no reason to draw throw because with the runners at first and second, a ball on the ground, Hoying, I mean, he's halfway to hole before the throw even comes in. And so trying to go to third was DeShields, and not even close. Sometimes you just have to know when to stop, and especially not to draw a throw or to save somebody that you're trying to draw a throw, because clearly there's not going to be a play at the plate. Good job of Joyce hitting the cutoff man, and good relay by Ryan Healy.
And this one is belted to right center field. Long run for Smolinski. He's not going to get it. Calhoun digging for third, and they're going to wave him home. Throw to the plate, cut off, and now it's 7-2. Andrus with an RBI double. So RBI number 88 for Elvis Andrus.
Look at the location of this pitch, right down the middle. At 92, about thigh high or belt high. And Elvis Andrus not wasting any time. The ball just kept slicing away for Smolinski. Calhoun with 2 outs. He probably thinks he's flying, doesn't he? Scores easily.
So here's Nomar Mazara. So the Rangers answer right back to get the 2 runs back that the A's scored in the top of this inning. Remember, Mazara sitting on 99 RBIs. He's got an RBI out there. Pops it up behind third. Chapman's got it. Side retired. 2 runs on 3 hits. We're on to the 7th inning. It's 7-2 Rangers.
Scudero are on the outside looking in at the A's 50th anniversary team for next season. It's up to you. Voting is open at athletics.com/50, and we'll close after Sunday's game. That's tomorrow. Help form the Oakland Athletics 50th anniversary team that will be honored next season.
There you go. Houston Street, Jermaine Dye in. Rick Honeycutt, Tony Armas out. But Honeycutt just 3 votes behind Street and Dye.
Rick Honeycutt along with Dennis Eckersley. When that couldn't close, Rick Honeycutt to do that. He pitched well for Seattle.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. So it's Ricky Rodriguez. Not the Ricky Rodriguez that used to be with the Athletics coaching staff.
That was Ricky Rod.
A little pop-up. So Canna, Smolinski, and Simeon. Final numbers for Andrew Cashner. He was pretty good. 5 hits, 2 runs, 99 pitches. He's hoping to get his 11th win and finish the season at 11-11. Another foul back, and the count is 0-2. Pitch, just foul.
Sam, when the Rangers were eliminated early this week, it was like playing spring training games. Well, I think this crowd's a little bit bigger than Surprise Arizona crowd that they're going to get for spring training.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, just a little bit bigger.
32,759 tonight on just a beautiful night. Swing and a miss. Good fastball from Rodriguez. So Canna strikes out. He's 0 for 3.
Mark Canna asking, is this a strike? In 97, it was a strike. Good velocity from the right-hander.
So with 1 out here, Smolinski. Of course, the Boston Red Sox clinched the division today. They beat Houston 6-3. So second consecutive American League Eastern Division title for the Red Sox. And it's always fun to examine these postseason teams now.
You know, Cop, as we talked when we were in Boston, much different team, the Red Sox, because David Ortiz is not there, not hitting as many home runs. But
pretty good pitching.
Drew Pomeranz has been great. Porcello, is he not anything compared to what he did last year when he won the Cy Young? It'd been a different story. But.
Well, they got a great closer, Kimbrel, and their bullpen's pretty good. And now Price is in that bullpen. I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, he can close the game if he had to, or he could get 2-3 innings for you. And I think he'll be very valuable coming out of the bullpen for the Red Sox.
Now, does he possibly opt out as a reliever now?
I think he's going to stay.
Yeah, he signed a big contract as a starter. He'd be back in the rotation. But he did it with Tampa Bay when he first came up in 2008. But today, I thought it's funny. He was bases loaded. He said Addison Reed came running in. I didn't call you. Go back.
I got it.
Yeah, get a strikeout. John Farrell was a little bit upset.
Well, the Red Sox last year, 93 games. They won the division by 4 games. They won their 93rd game today. So how about that? 2014 for the Red Sox, last place. No, let's do this. Let's go back. 2012, last place. 2013, won the World Series. Right. 14, last place. 15, last place. 16, win the division. Right. 17, win the division. Yeah. Andrus charges, scoops it, throws on the run. Nice play. So 2 away. And now the top of the order, Marcus Semien. There's 3 teams that win over 100 games: the Dodgers, the Indians, and the Astros. I want to say I read the last time that happened was 2003.
It's been a while. You're right. I think for the Indians, that's only the third time they've ever done it in the history of their great franchise. 54, of course, where they won 111.
So 2003. I don't remember who the three teams were. I know the Giants won 100, and this is 2003. But the point I'm making is the team that won the World Series, the Marlins, 91 wins.
That's right. That's right.
Which, you know, that tells you right there. Yankees, Giants, and Braves in 2003 all won 100 games or more. A's got to 96. But the Marlins got hot, had a very good team, and they won it all.
Pudge Rodriguez, he was featured tonight on their Diamond Vision here, and they showed the final game, the final out of that 2000 against the, is it JT Snow?
Yeah, that's right.
To score. Pudge Rodriguez bowled over, held on to the ball.
Well, you look at that 2003 Marlins team, and they were a wild card.
Yeah.
But then you look, if you look at that lineup, they were as good as anybody.
Yeah.
I don't care how many games they won in the regular season.
A's went in to play the Marlins at the old outdoor Miami Stadium, and that was their turnaround.
That year?
That year, 2003, because Pudge was there and had heard at the time that he didn't want to be involved in the catchers, the pitchers meetings, all that, but because of the National League, he'd been in the American League. And when the A's came into town, he said, I know those guys. And then all of a sudden, he got a little bit more involved, and next thing you know, had a pretty good series against Cubs.
Yes, he did. Rodriguez with a pretty good inning here in the top of the seventh. Seventh inning stretch from Globe Life Park in Arlington. Rangers leading the A's 7-2. Which can be found on channels listed on your screen. If you can't find NBC Sports California Plus, log on to NBCSportsCalifornia.com or call your TV provider. Bottom of the seventh here in Arlington, and the Rangers are leading 7-2. So Santiago Casilla has come in out of the bullpen. He is pitcher number 6 tonight for the A's. Gossett, Castro Smith, Mole, Dahl, and Casilla. The only one that did not allow any runs was Chris Smith. So Casilla takes over here in the 7th inning. Jeff Collins, the assistant athletic trainer on the left. All around good guy.
Skipper saying, Matt Olson, are you going to play? Can you play or not? Jeff Collins saying no. He's not, Skip. Coach, he's not going to play. Congratulated Bob Melvin on his contract extension. Said it took him 1 minute. I said, that's because you could care less about money. You just want to manage. He said, absolutely. Just wants to manage. And so it's not going to take him long, but he's signed through 2019. And considering he came on board midway through the 11th season, up to him, he would finish his career as a manager right in Oakland.
Joey Gallo, 2 homers and a walk.
So this is 4th at bat for him and the 4th different pitcher.
There's Matt Bush getting loose. Fastball a little bit inside. Gallo bends back out of the way. So Gallo with 41 home runs. So 3-1, and I think Joey Gallo is going to probably let her rip here. Wide open fairway, Ray. You're feeling pretty good. Tee it up a little high.
Let it fly.
Let her go. And can't do it because it's too far inside. So second walk for Gallo. So that's the 5th walk issued by the Athletics pitchers tonight.
Actually, booing Casilla almost like they're booing Giancarlo Stanton, probably down in Florida.
Giancarlo Stanton did not homer tonight. He did drive in a run, but no homer. So he's sitting at 59. He'll get one more shot at it. The most home runs ever hit by a Texas Ranger. Alex Rodriguez in 2002 hit 57. So that's the Texas Rangers franchise record. A-Rod hit 52 in 2001. Strike right on the inside corner.
And if I remember correctly, Alex Rodriguez, as he did at Yankee Stadium, changed his swing because here the ball didn't carry that well to left field, so it went to right field. Yankee Stadium, it's a monster to left center field. They changed it to hit the right field there.
Roller foul. I had a conversation with an A's player on Thursday, and he said the same thing about this ballpark. He said it's not as much of a hitter's park as it used to be because of the wind that used to blow out right to the Rangers bullpen.
Yeah, that jet stream has been eliminated because the area behind home plate. Time I could pan up a little bit. There should be an opening behind home plate that supposedly the air goes through, although the flag's hardly blowing now.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet tonight.
If they open up an area behind home plate above those seats, that supposedly as the air would come in from right center field, would hit the backstop and blow out to right center. Hit the back of the stadium anyway because it's so high.
See that opening right there? Believe it or not,
it's just enough.
It's open now. It used to be closed. But you would see balls get up in the air toward right center, and you would immediately go, uh-oh.
Yep, it's gone. And you think back to the time when Alex played here, that gesturing was there. When you look at Juan Gonzalez, Pudge Rodriguez, Alex Rodriguez, and of course Ruben Sierra was a switch hitter, but I mean a lot of those guys hit the ball. Pudge could hit the right field all the time.
So I think it's pretty close to being a fair park now. I mean, left field, you got to hit one pretty good here to get it out in left field.
It's tough to
left
see.
center out there. It's 390 right by the A's bullpen.
We'll see tomorrow for the day game, but in left center, high above, they put a kind of a wind screen there because the wind would howl in from the area. Yep, right to the left of the scoreboard where it says, right?
It's up there. Nice block by Maxwell, so the count 2-2. See,
there
there's
it
the
is.
wind
Oh,
screen.
thank you, Tommy. Just get up close, you can see it.
It may not seem like a big deal, but that's a huge windscreen.
Really, it's comparable to the Coliseum, the view quarters at the Coliseum, left center, right center. There's nothing there, but there was enough of a breeze. Of course, it blows hard here anyway. And in that area, it was blowing in and knocking down balls. I mean, if you hit a ball high to left field, it was going to get knocked down by the wind. You had to hit line drives.
This one is hit a mile in the air. Joyce in and over toward the line. He's got it. So that's out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And that'll bring up Brett Nicholas. Well, this ballpark opened in 1994, so it's its 24th year.
So old, they need a new one. That's incredible.
The original park that the Rangers played in was at Arlington Stadium, which was right over there.
Double-A.
Yeah.
Double-A Texas League.
But they did need a new stadium because that one was, well, like you said, it was a Double-A stadium that they just kept adding seats to.
Exactly. And from right field, that's why Mike Epstein did not want to play, because he was a left-handed power hitter, hit a ball down the right field line, the wind would come straight in, knock it straight down. He had no chance. I mean, because it blew in so hard from right field. That's right. Oh, yeah, metal bleachers, kind of like Lambeau Field.
There's a youth baseball field now sitting right on the spot where that stadium used to be, and it's really just about,
well, isn't a duplicate of this
100 yards over. Yeah, that could be. I do think it's in the exact same spot.
But you're right, they did it for the youth because they had the major leaguers here, and they put one there for the youth leagues.
Remember, the Rangers came here to Arlington in 1972. They were, I guess, what baseball refers to as the second version of the Washington Senators, right? And they were the Senators from 61 to 71 with absolutely zero success. And then they moved from Washington to here and became the Texas Rangers. Again, that was 1972.
Their manager, Ted Williams.
Boom.
He managed in Washington.
So you played against the Senators in Washington.
In Washington. Big Hondo, Frank Howard.
Get out of the way.
Oh. They had a mezzanine section. And it would be like here, it's a mezzanine, it was metal. And I'll never forget Big Hondo and Steve Dunning, who had just been drafted, signed by the Indians, and had 0-2 to Hondo. And he wanted to throw inside. I said, okay. Before I could get out of the catching position, the ball was rattling around in the mezzanine section.
You sure you want to do that? Maybe we should keep it away from the big fella.
And you know, I think when Nettles playing third, he says, what are you doing? You ought to get me killed down there pitching Hondo inside. But big Frank Howard, nicest guy in the world. But he would pace at RFK Stadium. You look out there, this big brown spot. And that's just Hondo pacing back and forth and killing the grass. I mean, you get 300-pounder out there. It's kind of like here just a little bit. There's a space where kind of outfielder will gravitate to. It's almost like a magnet. You know, you go right to that spot. See in left field where the left fielder Ken is playing. It's just kind of a space there. The guys walk around. That's kind of where they always play.
Well, that's the thing of beauty. If you're Brett Nicholas, Joey Gallo's pretty good speed. He's going to go to third, and it's first and third. So Nicholas just kind of reached out, poked it right over Chapman's head into left field.
Well, it's out there, out of the strike zone. But talk about dragging the bat through. Maybe unintentionally trying to hit the ball to left field, but it worked out perfectly for him. Chapman couldn't get it. Canna had to charge in.
So Odor steps up. He's had a good ball game. Double, single, fly ball to center. He has scored a run. He has stolen a base. And the first pitch, a little bit inside, I guess. Now, did Frank Howard, did he ever play for the Texas Rangers?
That I don't know for sure, because I know he's in Washington, and
I'm going to say no.
I don't think so either. But he played basketball at Ohio State. Big basketball player, of course, played for the Dodgers many years.
So he did.
So he did come. Yeah.
So the first year here, 72, Frank Howard was with the Rangers. So they traded him to the Tigers. And Michael Brady starting to get loose. So the A's are looking for a pitcher to have success. They haven't found it yet, except for Chris Smith. This one tapped. First base line. Casilla throws, and he wings it down the right field line. 1 run scores. Nicholas is going to go to third. He'll stop there. Now Odor is in a rundown. Here comes Nicholas to the plate, and the head first slide, and he is out. Odor then trots down to second base. So when the ball stops rolling around, Gallo scores. Nicholas is out at home, and Odor ends up at second base.
And there's absolutely no way Odor is going to be thrown out. And poor Ryan Healy, he said, I'm out of here. And the ball was to the first base side, foul. And Odor is going, and he's in between. And then here goes Nicholas. He's going to try to score. And guess what? You got a runner out of scoring position, one in scoring position, because Odor goes to second. Nicholas coming down, but there's no chance. I mean, you might as well stick the ball in your pocket. And Odor, I don't know if he didn't see somebody backing up like Lowry. He just kept running. And then the throw to the plate and a tag out of Nicholas. Maybe he might have gone over the tag with his hand. What's you got to play on that?
I do.
Oh boy.
I'm going to give it to you later. Chapman grabs it, side retired. So there was 1 run scored in all that. It's 8-2 as we head to the 8th.
California four dealers, you want to see a smart play? Here's one you're always going to see. A ground ball, slowly hit. So Casilla picks it up, throws it down the right field line. So what happens? Jed Lowry's backing up. He throws to second. That's where Marcus Semien is. He throws back to first. Nicholas at third. And he's going to try to score. Throw from Canna, or from Healy to Maxwell. There's a put out. Odor goes to second. And that's your smart play, if that's what you would have called it. Did he even tag it? I guess he did. Gallo pointing. Nicholas tried to go over. What was that for? What?
It was a single and an RBI for Odor in E1. And the putout went 4-6-3-2, I believe. So the new pitcher is Matt Bush, making his 57th appearance. Facing Joyce, Lowry, and Davis. Top of the 8th inning. It's now 8-2, the Rangers lead. And that one's belted to right field. Hoying going back, and that baby's gone. Number 25 for Matt Joyce. Nice round number. So give him 68 RBIs.
Well, guy throws 95, 98. Doesn't take long to get it up. Put a good swing, and it's exactly what Matt Joyce did for his 25th home run. Last time the A's did not hit a home run was on September the 12th. So 17 consecutive games with at least one home run. Scoring Matt Joyce just keeps doing it. 25 home runs.
Jed Lowry tonight is 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the 6th inning. Rolled foul. So tomorrow, Ray, we're going to give our picks for the awards around Major League Baseball.
Okay.
I've been working on mine. I don't know if you've been working on yours.
About a month.
I've been scouting and tell you who I think's going to win the World Series.
Who do you think? You got to tell me tomorrow.
Yep, not going to tell you. Okay. It may not necessarily surprise you, but did put some thought into it.
Well, it's got to be one of 10 teams, I think, right? Because 32s, there are 10 teams.
That's right, 10 out of 32. That's a good number.
30, that's football's 32. It's only 30 news.
30, 10 out of 30.
So a third of the teams have a chance starting Tuesday. And then it's going to quickly get down to 9. On Wednesday, down to 8.
So Lowry is retired. So Matt Joyce having a very fine season. So that was his 25th home run. That's a career high. 33 doubles. That's a career high. 78 runs. That's a career high.
That's a good
hits,
season.
He's not going to get to the hits. Fairly close in RBIs, but that is a good season, especially the way he started. And that one up and in, and it hit him. So Chris Davis been back out of the way of that one, but it got him. So Davis will walk down to first. Not sure where it exactly got him. The catcher, Nicholas, was still able to catch it.
Well, unfortunately, it's up around the head. That makes it even worse. That's Anything above the shoulders, which that one was, is not good. Fortunately turned away, and let's hope a glancing blow.
So here's Healy, who has reached on an air and hit a couple of fly balls to right field. It's 3 for 10 in the series. Another fly ball, this one toward right center. Hoying, the right fielder, is there. He's got it. So Healy 0 for 4. And with 2 outs, Chapman will hit. Chapman has reached on an air, popped out, and had an RBI ground out. So he now has 39 RBIs. And he's done that in 83 games. First pitch runs inside. Last year the A's called up Ryan Healy, and he played every day. He ended up playing in 72 games. So Chapman has played a little bit longer, been in the big leagues a little bit longer this year than Healy was last year, maybe a couple weeks. Chapman came up on the 15th of June.
Well, Chapman's not going anywhere. And just like Healy, he came up.
Chapman's got a base hit. Healy came up last year right at the start of the second half.
Breaking ball, and you have to wonder. The guy throws 98 miles an hour, and really his breaking pitch is a secondary, and it's not as good. And granted, he wants to throw the breaking ball, but he almost needs to bounce it if he throws it.
So 2 on, 2 out, a run in on Joyce's home run here in the top of the 8th inning. You know, sometimes it's pretty clear that the catcher, the coach, they're just trying to stall for time. Give the reliever out in the bullpen a little extra time. So 1-0 to Maxwell, a walk, a ground out, and a strikeout. Swing and a miss, 96 miles an hour. Another fastball, this one running away. Well, he was listening to you, Ray. Now he's just rearing back and throwing 97.
When you've got it, you got to use it. Still, while it's a predictable and a percentage pitch, and you've got that kind of velocity, it's hard to catch up to it.
So that one was 98 miles an hour. Davis at second, Chapman at first. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with Davis running. So the A's get a run. Matt Joyce's 25th home run of the year. Bottom of the 8th. Coming up, Brady coming in. It's 8-3 Texas. Three 7-1 for the A's. 8-13-3 for the Rangers. Gossett not good tonight. Got knocked out in the second inning. Cashner was good. 6 hits, 2 runs, 99 pitches. Couple of home runs for Joey Gallo. Home run for Matt Joyce. So the Rangers trying to make it 2 in a row over the Athletics as we have reached the bottom of the 8th inning. Beautiful downtown Dallas.
A lot of lights on, huh?
Yeah, looking good. So here's Michael Brady. His 16th appearance, does not have a win or a loss. And some changes in the outfield. We'll give those to you in just a moment. So Brady's first pitch to the leadoff man DeShields is in first strike. Brady is pitcher number 7 tonight for the A's. Breaking ball, didn't miss by much. Just a couple games still being played around the big leagues. Mets and the Phillies are in extra innings in Philadelphia. Hit hard but foul. Dodgers are leading the Rockies 4-3. If the Dodgers win that game, they will have home field advantage throughout the postseason for as long as they're in it. Indians lost today, so Indians with 101 wins, Dodgers with 102. And DeShields swing and a miss. So he chased the pitch down and away. Renato Nunez is now in the game in left field for the A's. Mark Canha slides over to right field. So Nunez in left, Canha in right. And Brady, the new pitcher. And here's Willie Calhoun. Calhoun is 1 for 3, a walk, RBI single, and a run scored. Calhoun is 5 for 10 in the series.
They always talk about September, but as we have talked, certain guys you can watch them play. Calhoun probably feels that he's getting a chance in this month of September since the club has been eliminated, but when they were in Oakland, they had not been. He played a little bit, not as much as he's playing now. Like any player, Sean and I was talking tonight about picking up his 12th win on Thursday, and feels good about going into the offseason. And a workout plan. And Kendall Graveman's finished. Gerald Cotton's finished. So Sean and I have those three. Top winner. Cotton got to 9, had to be scratched. And Kendall Graveman about 2 months on the DL, so he's going in. Well, all three feel pretty good about the offseason. They could be in the rotation next year. Blackburn and Triggs. They're going to be in Arizona working out. Manai's going to work out with them.
That one just into the seats as Maxwell runs out of room. So 1-2 the count.
I think Paul Blackburn probably more than anybody opened some eyes, a lot of eyes, and get a chance to get healthy and be ready for spring training.
Maxwell sets up outside. And the pitch is way off the plate. 2-2 the count. Cole Hamels, Daniel Migden tomorrow in the season finale. Canna over a little bit to his right. He makes the catch for the second out. So Willie Calhoun 1 for 4. And that'll bring up Elvis Andrus. Elvis Andrus is 1 for 4. We talk about guys trying to get to certain goals for a season, and if you're Elvis Andrus, you want to hit 300.
What's he hitting?
He's hitting 297, so he would need probably need a hit here and maybe a couple tomorrow, which is possible. If he doesn't get a hit here, he would probably need to go 2 for 2 and get him out of there, which is not out of the question. But Omar Mazara sitting at 99 RBIs. Those are a couple of things for Rangers players.
The thing about Elvis Andrus, he's not going to get a raise because he's already signed. Signed through 2022, something like that.
Yep.
But I mean, it's a personal goal to try to get to 3. I think he hit 300 last year. Want to do it back-to-back seasons. Plays every day though. And his home runs this year. Of course, his stolen base threat as always. Better shortstop.
Oh, he's got 44 doubles, 4 triples, and 20 home runs, and 25 stolen bases. So now the count 2-2. A's will have Canna, Smolinski, Simeon, and hopefully more in the 9th inning. They got a lot of work to do, trailing 8-3. Backhanded nicely. Lowry's throw, and it dug out by Healy. So a very nice play by both Lowry and Healy to take a hit away from Elvis Andrus. 8-3 as we head to the 9th. sure you stay tuned after the ball game for A's Postgame Live, brought to you by State Farm. Brody, Schutte, and Dallas are on hold right now. So the new pitcher is Paolo Espino. Couple starts, 9 relief appearances, no record. Paolo Espino. So Mark Canada lead it off. Mark Canada is 0 for 3. A couple of ground outs and a strikeout. Will Middlebrooks is the new third baseman. Drew Robinson slides over to short. So Elvis Andrus is out of the game. That one hooked foul. Good effort. Be careful. Did she catch it? Not quite. The effort was there. Oh. That's a strong effort, though. We're going to give her that one. Middlebrooks handles a tough hop, fires across. Canada's out, 1 out. So that'll bring up Smolinski. So Andrew Kashner, pretty good chance to finish the season with a win. He went the first 6 innings. Rodriguez pitched the 7th, Bush the 8th. Espino here in the 9th. First pitch to Smolinski, just a touch low. So Giancarlo Stanton did not homer tonight. Andrew Romine played all 9 positions in the Tigers' victory over the Twins. All the playoff spots are taken care of. What are we going to talk about tomorrow, Ray?
Dun, 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 dun. There'll be a few on tomorrow, right?
See, that's what's great about our job, though. We always have a ball game to talk about because there's one right in front of us.
That's right. That's the beauty of it. And you know, the story tonight, unfortunately, the A's down by 5, but the unfortunate thing about tonight, there are 8 consecutive games for the Athletics playing under 3 hours. It's coming to an end.
Yeah, it's going to
tonight. I mean, this pace of this game just was not conducive to playing under 3 hours.
Well, once you get to, well, the A's have used 7 relievers and Rangers have used 4. So once you get over 10 pitchers used in a game, that's
takes time.
That definitely takes time. No question about it.
But to have a run of 8 consecutive in the month of September under 3, it's unheard of.
Yep.
This curveball, the backup, it just actually stayed on the inside corner but wasn't called.
There's Kashner. He's waiting it out. Again, tomorrow's game, first pitch is, well, local time 2:05 back in the Bay Area, 12:05. Strike 3 called at the knees. Smolinski does not agree.
You know, I don't know if Jake Smolinski would say this, but this is what you say. You go back to him and say, you really want to get this game over that badly?
But that's a strike.
I know it is, but I mean, yeah, I agree.
I mean, that's a good pitch.
It's close enough that you shouldn't be taking it 3-2, but it's one of those that if you thought it was a pitch out of the strike zone, you might say it, but in reality, in the 5-run difference and that close, should be swung.
So here's Simeon for his 5th at bat, 1 for 4. And he belts one left field down the line, and that is off the foul pole, and that baby is gone.
So he gets to double figures.
Double digits. That's right.
Marcus Semien, that's a great accomplishment considering the time he missed with his surgery. Crushed it, and no doubter. So the A's with 2 more home runs, fastball 90 miles per hour on the inside part of the plate. And Marcus, if it's fair, it's gone. It's fair, it's gone. Foul pole. The foul, F-O-U-L, pole.
If it hits the foul pole, it's fair. One of the great baseball mysteries. Why is that pole called the foul?
Right.
I do not
Why
have an
is
answer.
a pole in fair territory called a foul pole?
A foul pole. And if it hits it, it's fair.
Fair. Because it's in fair territory.
It's a very good question that has never been answered.
But this is literally a foul pole here. F-O-U-L. What's this?
Foul, that's right. F-O-W-L. Eat more foul. 2-0 to Renato Nunez.
Had some lunch today.
See? Get it, get it, get it.
That's right. Foul. In fair. That foul is fair.
Had somebody say to me one time, well, you know, really, since it's fair, you probably should call it the fair pole. No, because it's been the foul pole since baseball was invented.
Just like the foul line.
Not going to change anything.
The foul field line.
The fair line. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's the ball game. So the A's get a run in the 9th, but come up well short. Semien with his 10th home run. So game 3 of this 4-game series goes to the Texas Rangers. Time of game tonight was 3 hours and 14 minutes. The attendance was 32,759. Final score tonight from Globe Life Park in Arlington, the Rangers 8 and the A's 4. Time now for Brody, Schutte in Dallas. It's A's Postgame Live presented by State Farm. Brody, take it away.